SoulKey's going to have to play a straight-up game this time, go for that Moodling Bane, and go for the late game.
And here's the third map. Overgrowth, Flash spawning in the top right, SoulKey spawning in the bottom left.
That's right. And what a map it is. I feel like it's one of the most balanced maps in today's map pool. Overgrowth LE.
Definitely one of the more standard maps.
Yeah.
And these were a lot of really fun macro games from that. But I don't know. It feels like we've seen SoulKey or Flash's plan on Sejong Station. We've seen his plan on Merry-Go-Round. They're very similar styles, but I'm wondering whether he has something special planned for Overgrowth, because we haven't seen him go to a game 3 yet.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very, very true. I feel like this map kind of complements his style, even though he's done it like twice already. Like, it's the very standard sort of style. It's his style where he loves his composition with lacking in Widow Mines in the late game. And it is kind of easy to secure a third base in this map and make a nice city around it with supply depots. And from there, I definitely feel like this is going to be a map that's Flash is going to be feeling very comfortable on.
Yeah, I think so too. And definitely considering his style, the Marine Marauder Hellbat, where he starts getting aggressive as soon as 2-2 finishes. On this map, with a close rush distance between the natural of the Terran player and the third base of the Zerg player, compares to a map like Merry-Go-Round, where it's a little bit wider and there's a lot more open space.
Yeah.
On this map, it's about the same distance, but there are a lot more choke points, and it's a lot harder for the Zerg player to get a good surround or get the really good engagements. And Flash has already been so on top of his positioning that I think it'll be really tough for SoulKey in the mid game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's a lot easier to hold these thirds, which is going to be a big key for Flash. And SoulKey, he's going to have to find something here. SoulKey obviously has very, very strong just mechanics in general, great macro. He didn't have the most impressive creep spread last game, though. Effort showing a lot better.
Yeah, I think so. But I'm not really sure. Flash did a really good job with his Hellions and his Reapers of keeping the creep spread contained. Like, SoulKey couldn't start spreading his creep spread until he had already taken his third base just because of the Hellions and the Reaper outside of his natural.
Right.
So I think if Flash goes for the same thing, he might be able to keep the creep spread back, but I feel like if he lets SoulKey get it up really early, it might be a little bit tougher, especially because on this map it feels like it's a little bit easier to get creep spread growing in like one or two directions than it is on Merry-Go-Round, where there's so much area to cover. Yeah,
it's a lot harder to kind of get that creep spread, especially to your third base, which is why we saw SoulKey go for that super, super late third base. And yeah, you can definitely push that a lot easier on this map, and that third base isn't too far away. It isn't down a ramp in the middle of nowhere. It's next to your natural.
And it looks like we're seeing mirrored openings from both players.
Yeah,
SoulKey again going for the
super greedy style, actually. Yeah. Can be kind of fatal against sort of proxy 2-Rax, but it is Flash, and Flash does not like to go for that proxy 2-Rax very often. So if he did go for it, it would be great. We actually only see two circles come out.
Yeah.
So he's kind of doing the bare minimum here, playing it even more greedy. He knows Flash's style is one Reaper, so if he can kind of hold on until those two queens are out, he'll be perfectly fine.
And SoulKey, he's starting to mine a little bit more gas, put one drone back in. Do you think that might be for aggression, or is he just going into a lair timing?
It could be a lair timing. It could. A lot of players kind of just like to do that, kind of slowly build up their gas while they simply massing drones, mastering minerals. Then go into it's like a little bit more convenient to have that sort of like gas for Evos a bit later on, get those upgrades a little bit faster. But we'll have to keep an eye on that counter and see if he actually puts in more drones or not. It could also be a timing. It could also mean like he's going to go for maybe very fast mutas if we see extra geysers go down and a fast lair go down. But you know, it is kind of a hard style to play these days, especially the way Flash has been playing. He doesn't seem very weak against it for sure. And well, look at that. We see a Roach Warren. So maybe we'll see some Roach timing once again.
Yeah, there's still only one drone on the geyser, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think he's got three now. He's got three now for sure.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Looking at that, look at it tick up.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
He's definitely going for a time, but at the same time, we have Flash going for that exact same style with the Marine drop, with the Hellions, going for that economic damage. Didn't really make it work too well last game, but he still found something.
But even the game that he did it on Sejong Station against Effort, the game that he did it on Sejong Station against
he did Sejong Station.
Yeah. It did a lot of damage. I feel like if he plays it well, and actually we're seeing a really fast armor. We didn't see that the first two games.
You know what that means? It's going to be a Hellbat timing instead. So we're going to see Hellbat Marine with Medivacs timing. And this can do a lot of damage. This is something definitely the new patch brought in. And it can kill from the get-go.
Oh, he's getting surrounded on the Queens. Oh, there's the Hellbats.
No. We see a huge drop going. The Marines kind of face-tanking a lot of the stuff. Maybe a bit of a mistake there. And we see a lot more Zerglings being made in 2 roaches as well. These Queens are in a horrible position here.
Yeah,
one goes down.
Flash is doing a lot of damage. I don't think those 2 roaches and Zerglings are going to be enough.
No, he's going to need at least 4 roaches, I think. The Zerglings are going to help eventually. I mean, these Medivacs are kind of out of position. It was a little bit awkward the way he dropped those Marines in. Did lose a lot of the DPS really early on there.
SoulKey microing back that 1 Queen.
Sending in more Hellions and keeping 1 Medivac alive here. Going for some drones now. Oh, a few drones go down.
Only gets 1 or 2. I feel like, I don't know if this did that much damage. They're trading armies, but...
Yeah, it was a little too aggressive, I think. Flash dropping those Marines in. Oh, there's drones stacking on top of the Hellbat at the end there. Oh, I actually wonder how much drones have gone down in this point. I feel like more than we think have gone down.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. Only 7 drones. That's not too many, but 44 Zerglings.
Oh, man. So it did a fair amount of damage. Very, very late 3rd CC because of that. Definitely not enough drone damage to really make it too worth it. It did enough. I mean, it did get rid of a lot of Zerglings. It obviously used up a lot of resources. Forced the Zerglings to spend on nothing but larvae. Spend all these larvae on nothing but Zerglings for quite some time.
I think SoulKey came ahead from that, but it's not too big a deal.
No, it's kind of like breaking even almost because of how late that 3rd CC is. But look at those upgrades. Look how late these upgrades are for SoulKey as well.
Yeah, but Flash doesn't even have an engineering base up.
That's a good point as well. So both players kind of starting off late because of that timing.
Yeah, much more aggressive game coming out from Flash, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Going for that really strong timing.
Oh, I'm sorry. He had the engineering base were completed, but 1-1 hadn't started yet. So he will have a small window if he does decide to push in the mid game.
Yeah, small window. Probably, yeah, not much of a window. It's going to depend. I think SoulKey's going to be spending all his gas on Mutas to begin with. So he will be a little bit behind with the 1-1. But Mutas might be able to do some work in the meantime. Got to be a little bit defensive. Got to be worried about these Hellions doing run-bys into that 3rd especially.
Yeah, those SoulKey is on 3 bases. He's only up 6 workers, and with that 3rd CC finishing, I feel like they're almost even economically, but SoulKey's army advantage is pretty big right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Flash might have a hard time taking a 3rd base.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult for sure. We actually don't see any turrets up so far, so these Mutas are gonna get a bit of a surprise attack here. Quite possibly do some damage. You see a bunch of Marines on the map though, so you have to wait and see where what kind of position they're in.
But still, more drones in production. I think SoulKey just wants to play it safe.
Yeah. I actually like that a lot. He kind of needs to catch up. He needs to kind of get that economic lead. Taking down a Viking's going to help out a lot with those Overlords. And, you know, picking off a bunch of SCVs. Oh, almost loses the Muta. Flash kind of zoning him out now. Doing a little bit of damage to those Mutas, but they've done quite some considerable damage already.
Yeah. Hellion, couple SCVs.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see that 4th base start up for SoulKey very, very soon as well. A lot of Zerglings being made, actually. So maybe we'll see a timing after all. Or simply SoulKey's a bit worried about any sort of timing that can come from Flash.
Yeah, and I think this game, SoulKey's creep spread is much better than it was on Merry-Go-Round.
Yeah. So this map is actually really important for creep spread to get to that 4th base in the bottom right. More than any other one. It's you got to get creep over there. You got to get to that passageway so you can do some great engagements there before Terran can really set up shop and drop the Widow Mines and like, get a great foothold down there.
Yeah, now the 1-1 is finished, Fast is going to get a little bit aggressive. Starting push down. I think he wants to delay the 4th base, but there's not one coming yet.
Yeah, no one yet. Looks like it finally went down now. But hopefully SoulKey's kind of been staying on point here. He sees Marines on his creep already. And he does have slow Banes. He actually has quite a number of them as well as some Roaches. Wasting Banes on Hellback. He's got to be careful of the positioning here. Flash, obviously very, very good with his splitting. And he knows he's going to have to defend this 4th base.
Bailing speed only halfway done.
Yeah.
Flash has a much larger window than he might think.
Yeah, absolutely here.
Oh.
And even more coming down. These Mutas have to be very careful. They're going to get picked off at this point of the game. He's going to go for more harassment while this is all happening, but there's a lot of Marines out. Oh, this is not a good position at all, considering how many Marines and Hellbats are barreling down on that 4th base in the bottom right. Yeah. I don't think SoulKey knows either.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
He's really out of position at this point. So many banelings, but they're so slow. It's just about to finish here, but this is a great concave for Flash. As long as he splits up his army, he's going to do so much great trading. And every baneling goes down for what? There's still half the army is left and 2 Hellbats. More splitting goes down. Finally, baneling speed is finished. Does considerable damage to that 4th base. At the same time, these mutas were trying to harass. Get a couple of SCVs, but definitely doesn't make up for it, I don't think.
Yeah, Flash didn't get the 4th base, but he did trade pretty well with the banelings, though. Taking damage is natural. I'm not sure if he comes out ahead from that.
I feel like Flash is ahead considering how much gas was wasted on those banelings. And I mean, he was trading so kind of cost inefficiently, considering how the positioning was, and no creep there, and yeah, that great concave the Flash had.
It looks like SoulKey's going to get a little aggressive. He's coming into the natural now with Zerglings.
Oh, let's see what this can do, actually. Not that many mutas, and still like a great position for Flash. We do see a Thor finally out as well, which is going to kind of zone out the mutas even more so. 2-2, about 70% done at this point.
Yeah, more banelings being morphed now.
Yeah. Flash might be gearing up for that timing once again.
And I feel like SoulKey's creep spread hasn't really gone anywhere the past couple of minutes. It's almost the same way it was 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of slowed down, like with all the kind of aggression that he's been dealing with, and as well as like kind of harassment with the mutas is really kind of taking his eye off the ball there. And
yeah,
gone kind of into a tunnel vision and really slowed down, which is I feel like a big mistake considering how many creep tumors we have there that could be kind of pushed out even further.
Yeah, when 2-2 finishes, all these upgrades are lined up: Infernal Pre-Igniter, +1 vehicle weapons, and 2-2 are all finished.
It's actually amazing how mechanical Flash is. Like,
yeah, the timing is just amazing.
Like everything is just to a point. Like, and
it's like within a 5-second window, everything finishes.
Yeah, it's quite amazing actually.
And I think when he pushes out now, and SoulKey doesn't have that much creep spread, it's going to be really hard for him to fight, especially considering how easy it will be for Flash to get into a good position on this map.
Yeah, I mean, look at the creep spread here.
That's so many banelings.
So many banelings, but I mean, the creep spread is so horrible in that passageway. Like, Flash can like simply split his units in the passageway and just trade for days. And even if everything gets wiped out, so long as he doesn't have clumps of units getting wiped out by banelings, he's trading very, very well.
SoulKey's going to come in from 2 sides.
Here we go. Can Flash split in time? He's got a great concave here. I think the Thor took a lot of hits, but these banelings trying to chase down the Marines. Oh no! So many banelings going on these Marauders. Still 2 Thors left, zoning out the Mutalisks, and there's still so many Marauders and Marines left.
Flash again with his positioning, keeping Bio back. Losing Marauders and Marines, but not enough.
Simply just not enough. The banelings did not do anything, really. 4th base goes down for free at this point, and it's going to be so hard for SoulKey to find enough banelings, enough Zerglings to really push us back again.
Flash is at 40 supply and just one fell swoop with his micro. He just swings the whole game around.
Yeah, he's just in position, on point every single fight. GG! Flash qualifies.
In a really convincing fashion, too.
Very, very convincing. Flash playing absolutely like a beast, like a mechanical beast at that. Playing kind of the same way every single game, but he plays it so damn well.
Yeah, and it's such a safe style, too. We saw in the first game that he was caught a little bit off guard by the Ling Baneling attack, and he's a little bit vulnerable for those first few minutes, but as soon as he gets into the mid-game, as soon as 2-2 finishes every single TVZ, he's just doing so much damage. He's trading so well.
So long as he hasn't taken too much damage before that 2-2 comes down,